After Rome fell, the early Middle Ages meant the antithesis of mass production. All economic activity became local. Peasants reclaimed farmland, soldiers caused chaos or settled down to rule local regions. Villagers returned or new villages created, including local craftspeople like blacksmiths. Women might brew local beer. Farmers trade food for other goods on market day. Local traders might journey as far as the next village. Over time, the feudal system was created, with aristocrats, the overlords, overseeing knights and clergy, with peasants at the bottom. Villages and larger towns were somewhat independent and provided for a rising working and middle class. Further up this system was increased specialization. At the local level, blacksmiths might deal with all related building and repairs like carpentry, basically anti-mass production. Initial chaos meant people fled from Rome and other cities like Paris and London. These were relatively small cities, but grew progressively larger and more powerful over time. Paris and London became royal cities with more authority as the kings increased power and territory. City officials retained autonomy even as kings grew in ruthlessness and the need for military glory. British Parliament increased authority as English kings needed money to finance foreign wars. Merchants from as far away as Italy took the perilous journey in horse-drawn carts to exchange goods and raw materials. A big draw was the woolen trade and metalworks in France, Germany, and England. An example was the annual fair on the Seine at Troyes, east of Paris. Part of the trade would be English wool for Italian finished goods, promoting proto-mass production. After Rome fell, many merchants fled to the mountains and other inhospitable places. It took centuries, but city-states developed in Venice, Florence, Genoa, Pisa, and Milan. Venice was situated on islands in the Venetian lagoon at the north end of the Adriatic Sea, of no interest to attacking Lombards and others. Geography worked to make Venice a seafaring trading state. Arguably, Venice was the most ruthless and successful maritime state on the Mediterranean. They would trade with Muslims in North Africa and across the Mediterranean than Christian Europe. Better charts, compasses, and other nautical equipment gave them an edge. The invention of double-entry bookkeeping meant long-term partnerships were possible with greater sophistication. Banking practices, including bills of exchange, increased wealth and power. Like ancient Carthage, Venice also mass-produced ships during the Middle Ages using prefabricated parts on an assembly line, perhaps the world's first factory, using thousands of workers. That also meant repairs, often using interchangeable parts. Both merchant and warships were built. The success of Italian maritime and banking states gave them the wealth to start the Renaissance. Next time on Food History and Mystery.